I have been playing Pokemon Crystal since middle of December 2024. On January 1st, I went outside to watch first sunrise with my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. And that's how I started 2025. I was training Pokemon in January and it was snowing outside. And now it's already May, weather is hot outside, and I'm still playing the same Pokemon Crystal. Compared to Gen 1, which I finished within a month, Gen 2 took a lot more time. And today, I want to show you everything I have done in the game. Let's jump into the save right away. As you can see, I have about 300 hours of gameplay and I completed Gen 2 Pokédex, all 251 Pokemon. I even printed out the diploma and I framed it on my desk. I think there is a better way, but this is the best one I could think of. Right now, I am in front of the Elite Four because it's Sunday night, and every Monday and Wednesday the rival just pop up here. So my Monday morning usually starts beating him for additional EXP. Let's start from my current party. Right now, I'm training Lugia and Ho for Battle Tower. Have you ever imagined a Gen 2 legendary team with their signature moves? Yes, that is the team that I'm trying to build as my final Battle Tower team for level 100. Before these two, I trained different Lugia and different Ho because I was not a professional Gen 2 trainer and I didn't know something. Let me show you. These are the Lugia and Ho I caught from Crystal. And these are the Lugia and Ho I caught from Pokemon Gold. Do you see the difference? In Generation 2, you could get both legendaries no matter what version you play, but the thing was that only the Lugia from the Silver knows Aeroblast, and only the Ho from the Gold knows the Sacred Fire. And I didn't know that. Good thing is that I already played Pokemon Gold to complete my Pokédex. So I just traded Ho to my Crystal. But Lugia was the problem. The problem is that I never played Pokemon Silver because I didn't need the Silver exclusive to complete my Pokédex. I just used Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Crystal, and I could complete Pokédex. So at this point, I just had two options. First option is forget about Aeroblast, just use Lugia with Fly or something. Or option 2, play Pokemon Silver once again just to get the Lugia with Aeroblast. Honestly, this decision was a no-brainer. Why would someone waste 10 hours just to replay the Pokemon Silver once again after completing Pokédex? Right? Yeah, I did it, and I have Lugia with Aeroblast now. And here's the thing. This is actually my first time having Lugia with Aeroblast. When I was young, I played Pokemon Gold on the emulator, so I never really knew that Lugia can learn Aeroblast. And I still remember the old Pokemon movie where Lugia was shooting some orange beam from the mouth. I thought it was really cool. That's like 20 years ago, but I finally have Lugia with Aeroblast. It's so cool. Next Pokemon I have on my party is Caesar, my absolute favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. The one you're looking at here is a casual Caesar who I was using False Swipe to complete Pokédex and use Thief to steal items. Caesar has done lots of works. I'm not even bothered about False Swipe and completing Pokédex. What I want to talk about is the Thief. Starting in Gen 2, Pokemon could hold on items, and this is to steal them. My Caesar already stole all the items for special evolutions. I thought I got all the necessary items, but no, there were so many interesting items out there that I didn't know. And these are the items where if you don't know, you just don't know. First one is the Lucky Egg. Chansey has this item. And the hard part is that there is just 1% encounter rate for Chansey, and even after you see the Chansey, there are just 2% of chance of Chansey holding the Lucky Egg. You can imagine how hard it is, right? I got it on the first encounter, no problem. Second item I want to talk about is the Dig Club. This one, Cubone and Marowak has it for 2%. And I lost to Marowak so many times in Battle Tower. As soon as Marowak starts throwing the bone to my Pokemon called Bone Marong, my Pokemon died. It was really strong and I also won it. I thought it will go really fast because it's just Cubone and 2% chance. But what happened is it took me so much time. My commuting to work is about an hour and a half per day. And I spent an entire week just grinding this. I converted lots of Cubone and Marowak into EXP before I finally get it. And at the time, I felt like I became one of the Team Rocket member who's hunting down the Cubone and Marowak to steal the bones. Another interesting item is this stick. This stick is the one that Farfetch holds. It's so cute. It was another 2%, but I got it pretty fast. Just like 4 and 5 hours. There are more interesting items like Moo Moo Milk that you can steal from Milk Tank, or Twisted Spoon, which we can only get by trading Kadabra from Pokemon Yellow to Gen 2. But yep, those were pretty much the interesting items that I found. Next and the last member in my party is Celebi. No, it's not PG, it's Celebi. I mostly use Celebi to fly around, because I didn't want my Celebi to just sit in the PC and do nothing. If you're curious about how to get Celebi, check out my Gen 2 Pokédex video. I have done some research, I found 3 different ways to get Celebi, and I did a weird coin case glitch in the end. When I first got Celebi, I really wanted to rename this to Celebi because, you know, the Celebi is the most rare Pokemon and PG is not. So I tried to rename my Celebi to Celebi, but I failed. And thanks to everyone who commented on my video, I know why now. It was because the trainer ID was different. However, even knowing all that, I still didn't change the name because I think I like it now. Every time I see this PG, I remember the final stretch I did to get this one last missing Pokemon. I do some weird glitch that I still don't know how it works. And the moment I saw the Celebi on my screen, on my Game Boy with my trainer ID, it was a great feeling. And I still think about that. Alright, so let's check the PC as well. My PC13 has some legendary dogs, shiny Gyarados, and lots of Scyther. I wanted a baby Scyther who knows the Sword Dance and Button Pass. And these are pretty much the results from that. This Radiant here was the father, and this Scyther, she was the mother, and they gave a birth to this Scizor here. This is the competitive Scizor that I'm using. It was so fun to make this Scizor and build a team around it. This Machamp here, he was the main attacker, whose Scizor used Sword Dance and Button Pass to Machamp, and Machamp destroys all the enemies. It was so fun. Rest of the Pokemon in this box are pretty much the one I used in Battle Tower from my previous video. I cannot thank enough to Aerodactyl because without Aerodactyl, I don't think I could beat the level 10 Battle Tower. It was pretty tough. And Cloyster, I still see people mention spikes are good, but since I never really played PvP and just have battles in Battle Tower, spikes were not good. It was trash. But Explosion, I loved it so much. Box 14 has the Pokemon I used to beat the Elite Four and the red. My shiny Magmar, isn't it so cute? The pink color, it's a little bit different. Rest of the Pokemon are also the ones that I used in the Battle Tower. I ended up spending lots of times in Battle Tower, but Battle Tower was so fun. It was a so great experience. Because of the Battle Tower, I ended up using Pokemon and actual strategies that I didn't know before. And based on the people's comments on the previous video, I feel like I was playing competitive Gen 2 meta teams. So I feel like I am becoming a professional Gen 2 trainer at this point. Everything about the battle tower was so fun except one thing. In Generation 2, leveling up Pokemons took really long time. And I heard Gen 3 also has the battle tower, and only thing I need to do is just level them to 50. That's it. It sounds so easy and comfortable, so I'm waiting for it. Oh my god, out of all these members, Golem was my absolute favorite. Double Boom Boom Brothers. Zapdos was also fun. Suicune. And Snorlax are not gonna talk much. He just destroyed everything. I'm still excited about this Battle Tower Pokemon, but I shouldn't talk too much because I already talked about that for 30 minutes. Next Pokemon are Ho-Oh and Lugia from Pokemon Crystal, the ones that do not have the signature moves. Useless. Those were pretty much my box 14 and 13. Other boxes were pretty much the Pokemons I just caught for Pokédex, nothing more interesting. Here, box number 9 is the one I traded over from the Pokemon Yellow. And I see Mew and Mewtwo. Actually, I wanted to try another team for Battle Tower. Celebi, Mew, Mewtwo. But Gen 2 leveling takes so long. I think once I move to Gen 3, I'm gonna play Celebi, Mew, Mewtwo team because it sounds so fun. And then Gen 3, I don't need to level them up to 100. And you might be wondering, hey, since you played for 300 hours, you must have some shiny Pokemon, right? Nope, all I have is Red Gyarados and shiny Magmar that I got from the old deck. I told you I spent an entire week hunting Cubone, right? At the time, I was thinking, oh my god, what if I get the shiny Cubone? It will gonna become my favorite Pokemon. No, it never happened. I even stopped grinding Elite 4 for EXP because I really wanted to see some random shiny Pokemon. I went to the wild Pokemon for training. I was so ready to just see this one random shiny Pokemon. And nope, it never happened. It never came to me. Oh well, maybe I am saving my shiny luck for Gen 3, maybe something really big. Who knows? After all these years, I finally completed Gen 2. Gen 1 was the first Pokemon I played when I was a kid, but Gen 2 was my favorite. It was the first Pokemon game that was translated to Korean, and I could read everything. I could play with my friends, I could make some memories, and enjoy everything. And of course, the Kanto and the Red in the end make it not forgettable. And Gen 2 was actually the last Pokemon that I played as a kid. We never got Korean version of Gen 3, so I never really had a chance to play until now. I know Gen 3 is lots of people's favorite Pokemon in the world, and yep, that is the game I'm planning to play next for the first time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.